Hawaiian authorities have arrested Chito Asuncion and dubbed him a modern-day serial killer. He is charged with 2 murders and 2 attempted murders, all committed with a knife. Hey everybody, welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. I'm Christy Brower, here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey Katie.
Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
It is going well. Beautiful weather. The days are getting hot. The nights are absolutely gorgeous. I cannot complain.
Me either. I know. I'm loving it. We're talking about planting flowers, which is never something you do until June if you live here, because they are not going to live if you do. But yeah, it's awesome. I'm loving this weather.
Yeah, we are planting the greenhouse today. We already planted some of it, but finishing the greenhouse today, maybe. And gonna go morel picking. The morels are up like crazy right now. So
wow,
that's the timing is good. The morels are kind of late. The asparagus was late. We had a pretty blustery spring, but anyway, here we are. So it's good.
Nice. Well, feel free to take my share of those morels.
I know they're not your jam, but
just never been able to get my head or my mouth around fungus. I don't know. It's just the thing I have.
I don't know what your problem is. Fungus
right?
is delightful.
Yes, delightful. Okay. Well, this is our Tuesday episode, and we're going to kick it off with a little Florida man.
I should have called this episode Florida Ma'am, but we don't have that in our list of choices, so we went with Florida Man. But this is a Florida Ma'am case, actually.
Oh, boy.
So this happened last week in Orlando, actually over Memorial Weekend. A woman got into an altercation with another woman, and as she was fighting with her, she took off her backpack and gave it to her 10-year-old daughter. Well, the women that were fighting's names are Lucretia Isaac and LaShun Rogers. Well, witnesses say that Isaac punched Rogers at a barbecue at their apartment complex. Rogers punched back, and that's where it started.
Oh, boy.
So after she took off the backpack and handed it to her daughter, this was Lucretia Isaac, her daughter rummaged through the backpack, pulled out a loaded gun, and shot and killed LaShun Rogers.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's horrifying.
Mm-hmm. So 10 years old. 10 years old and has been charged with murder.
No. Oh.
Now, rest assured, Mom has a litany of charges as well. She freaking better. She caused this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so shocking and sad.
That is horrifying. There's way too much of that, carrying guns wherever you are. This is how these terrible things happen.
Mm-hmm. So some witnesses have said that she took the backpack off and whispered in her daughter's ear and then went back to the fight. We don't know. Did she actually tell her to get the gun out?
Right.
Or did the daughter just know the gun was there and she was scared?
Right. A kid would just be scared and want to, protect themselves or protect their mom or whatever. That's so awful. This child should not be charged like that. That's not right.
No. Well, it is my hope for her that she's able to do whatever time she gets, in a juvenile detention facility where she also gets an education and some decent care. Fingers crossed. This is Florida, so no promises. And can at some point enter back into society because she's 10.
Right.
And she whether it was implied or not, was put up to this by her mother. It's and handed the weapon. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
so gross.
it is.
This reminds me a while back of that fight that the guy had at McDonald's, where he handed a loaded weapon to his child, who fired it. His like 4-year-old, I think, that fired it at the police.
Yeah. Terrifying.
What the hell
Terrifying.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Having loaded guns around your children, and
Right.
also obviously they know how to use them.
Yep. Yeah,
Last
that's
week
the
I
other scary
saw.
thing is that they actually know how to point it and pull the trigger, that they didn't harm themselves in the process is a miracle.
Mhm.
It's so sad, and so
Yeah.
sad for the victim too. Like, this should not have happened.
No, 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 and for her family and her children, and her mother was their mother was murdered.
God,
Yeah, yeah. So there you have it, Florida, ma'am.
Florida man. Yikes.
Well, I'm going to kick the mic back over to you for our main case.
Okay. Well, our main case is out of Hawaii, and Hawaii has something rather unusual for Hawaii going on. This is Chito Asuncion, and Chito has been arrested and deemed a serial killer on the main island in
Wow.
Hawaii. Not something that has really happened hardly ever.
That's true.
And so, very kind of interesting, just something to be aware of. So, he's committed several different strings of knife attacks in the last few weeks.
Ugh.
And he is now facing first-degree murder charges. And first-degree murder charges are very rare in Hawaii. That hardly ever happens. So he has stabbed 4 people from Kaluakona to Hilo over the last 3 weeks.
Oh boy.
2 of the victims died and 2 lived. So they're grappling with the reality of this insane situation. You know, this is not something that the people in this community would expect. It's really shaken people up. And to call someone a serial killer in Hawaii just is not something that happens much.
Yeah.
So, right now he's facing first-degree murder, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 2 counts of attempted murder. Bail is currently $1.5 million, but prosecutors want him held without bail. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty likely that he won't be able to bond out.
No, especially because this easily could just be the beginning.
Right? That's the thing that's scary.
Yeah.
Are these his only victims?
No
Also,
bail
these are
bondsman
knife
is going to
crimes, which
touch
is
this.
no,
Yeah.
uh-uh. But for them to be nice to a serial killer that is committing knife crimes, that's kind of an unusual thing too. We don't see
Yeah.
that all the time. But I was looking into Cheeto because there's not a lot about him, and I was trying to figure out, like, what do we know about this person? This is Cheeto when he was 14, 10 years ago, when
Oh.
he went missing for a period of time.
Oh God.
So he clearly, and I can't find like a huge amount of information about him going missing other than he did go missing for a while as a 14-year-old kid and then was found. But he's clearly been through some shit in his
Yeah.
life. He also has most of his victims are men, or are all they men? Hang on, let me double check this. Oh no, there's a woman too. It's all very seems unplanned and random.
Mhm. So he's not
Doesn't
like targeting homeless people or anything.
It
He's
does not
just.
seem like it. No. It seems more like he's just kind of a loose cannon.
And are these crimes happening at night, during the middle of the day? Do we know?
Don't know. There's the information is pretty light on this, but considering that Hawaii does not frequently have a serial killer, I thought it's something we ought to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
very sorry to see that this kind of crime has shown up in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that, you know?
No.
But
No, for
all of these
sure.
things have just happened in the last few weeks. Like, this happened quickly, he was caught quickly, and that's good.
Yeah.
But that's as far as we know, that's the case, but we don't
Mhm.
know for sure. And I'm sure that there's work being done right now, with the police in Hawaii to try to figure out, like, are these his only victims? Has he been
Mhm.
active somewhere else? What is going on? There's lots to find out. So this is just kind of an opening of Cheeto's case, and, we'll definitely update as we learn more things because I'm sure we will.
Mhm. I would
There's
really
not a
like to
lot.
learn more about him.
But, it always makes me wonder how this face, this cute
Right.
14-year-old kid who obviously was struggling as he'd gone missing himself, became this 24-year-old serial killer.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm looking at serial killers, this is the stuff I wanna know. How did this happen?
'Cause there's a lot of pain in that guy.
There
Oh,
is.
boy.
There is. So,
And now there's a lot of pain in a whole bunch of other people because of his
yes,
crimes. I mean,
there
God, the
are.
the wheel just keeps turning.
It does, but it's something we're gonna keep an eye on and
Yeah.
see what else happens because I do wonder that as well. Are there other victims out there, um, that they just haven't identified yet? But we'll be keeping an eye on Cheeto.
Yeah, for sure.
And with that, I know it doesn't seem like very much, but that's all there is at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll
it's
con
definitely a case worth watching.
It
Yeah,
is, definitely, yeah. And with that, Katie, I know you've got a little WTF news for us.
I do. This is actually another Florida case, but it also didn't really deserve Florida man branding. Maybe it
Mm.
did, actually. You guys can be the judge of that, but I'm going to show you a picture here. And
Oh, yes.
yep, and a note. So this happened in Florida. A waitress noticed a family that came in to their restaurant and ordered food for all but one member of the family. This was Mrs. Potato Restaurant. This happened actually back in 2021, the end of 2021.
Mrs. Potato?
Yeah,
N
Mrs.
not Mrs.
Potato.
Not Mrs. Potato Head?
The,
Don't you want it to go there real bad? Like, I'm like,
yeah,
this name is
yeah.
messed up. Okay.
What are we thinking? Yes.
Yeah.
So the manager, well, so the waitress noticed that we have this kid that's not eating, also being sat far from the family and just sitting there hanging his head. And the waitress was concerned and thought that something seemed wrong. And she looked closer at this boy and realized that not only was he frighteningly skinny, but he had bruises and abrasions on his face
Oh,
and his
no.
arms. And she went,
Mm.
no, something's wrong here. So she grabbed her manager, who called the police and said, there's something going on here. Not only that, they didn't order this child any food. No food, not even a glass of water, nothing. And the rest
Oh
of
my
them were eating
god.
full meals.
Holy hell.
Hmm.
Oh,
And, due to that, they decided that they should call the police because just something seemed wrong. This is one of those cases where, if you see something, say something, and they did.
yay.
And so the police came and they started taking a look into the life of this child. The police said they quickly determined that he had been tortured, maliciously punished, and deprived of food and water for days at a time.
Oh my god.
They also were living in a hotel, and he was kept in a separate hotel room used for storage, away from the rest of the family, and basically just tortured there.
My god.
They said that he routinely was deprived of food and beverages and was made to do military style exercises, hung upside down from a door by his neck and feet, and
Oh,
at one point handcuffed to a dolly cart on Christmas Day. Uh,
mm,
Officers recovered multiple items used, such as weapons, or for weapons, such as a bent metal pole, a wooden broom, a dolly cart, handcuffs, and ratchet straps that were used to tie him up.
my god.
So, stepdad was charged first. His name is Timothy Lee Wilson.
Okay.
And he's just been convicted.
Good God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
picture took me back. Yikes.
Right? Yeah. It's this greasy pile of whitefish.
Yeah.
As well as his wife, who has also been charged.
Well,
So
how could she not know? I mean, come on.
she knew. She was a part of it. She's been charged too, because she was certainly a part of this. So he actually has been convicted now. The stepdad has been convicted. It took the jury 2 hours to return guilty verdicts on all 10 counts of child abuse.
Oh my God.
So the mother, Kristin Swan, has also been arrested and is facing multiple felony abuse charges, including neglect of a child, aggravated abuse, and failure to report child abuse.
My God.
She told investigators she was aware of the abuse but didn't do anything to stop it, and repeatedly failed to seek medical attention. So
How
she's
can you
pled,
do that to your own child? How?
or let someone
Or
else do
any
that to your
child.
child. Yeah. Yeah.
Any child. Were the other kids okay?
Yeah. This was like the child called it. This was
Yeah.
the kid that
Ugh.
took all of the brunt of everything. So her trial's in July, so we'll certainly keep an eye on that. I hope you burn in hell, Kristin.
Yeah.
But along with this fool that you call a husband, my God.
Ugh.
So luckily, now both children, I think there's just 2 kids, have been rescued from the situation, all because a waitress noticed something was wrong. Her manager believed her. They called the police, and this is how it rolled out. But the part that I failed to mention, sorry, is that she held up a note for him. And this is the note she held up, asking, "Do you need help?" And he said yes. So she kind of passed in front of him in a way that the family couldn't see her holding up a note.
Sure. Sure.
You know, because they couldn't stand him to the point that they made him sit away from them. It was actually their own downfall.
My God. The gall of that.
Yeah.
But good on her. That was very brave. And I'm so glad that her manager believed her and that this all went the way that it should have gone, you know?
Yep.
We need way more of these
Yep.
stories.
Yep. That wherever you go, we aren't putting up with this shit. And when we see it, we're going to say something. And guess what? It worked. Now, what if she was wrong? Oh, well, what if?
If she was wrong and that kid had good parents, they would have said, thank you.
Yep.
For acknowledging your concern about our child.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's it. Or they would have bitched her out. But so what? So what?
Who cares?
We have to
really?
quit being so afraid of upsetting people.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So there you have it. So yeah, there are good things going on in Florida. See, Florida, I wanted to make sure we gave you guys some good exposure here and there, and here you have it.
Right?
Well, good and bad, actually. I guess I shouldn't go that far, but
at least if people are speaking up when they see something like that, we're beginning to make a little change.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
100%.
Well, thank you for that.
You bet.
So this is our Tuesday episode. We'll be back on Wednesday with another episode, as well as our Wednesday night case update live stream at 7 p.m. Mountain, and on Thursday for the Psychic Hour, which is our live stream at 7 p.m. Mountain as well. So lots more great content to come. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. It helps us to grow. Also, please go check us out on Patreon. We do offer 2 extra cases a month that are bonus content for patrons only. There's more than 2 years worth of episodes over there already that you could have access to. Yep. We've got some good stuff coming. We've kind of been in an occult theme, and we've got some more culty crazy shit coming for you over there at Patreon. So check
I don't know
that
why
out.
That's become the theme lately, but
because there's a lot of it happening, I think.
Boy, isn't there?
Go to patreon.com and just search True Crime Paranormal. You'll find us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as always, you know it. We are True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Thanks for being here.
Take care.